Hi, this is Jason Mills, and welcome back to my blog. Here it is raining at Lakeview, and I'm just having a toke. I'm gonna just relax here a little bit. I was literally just ranting to myself about why people who smoke pot also have cigarettes. Not always. I mean, a select few stoners sometimes also smoke cigarettes, aka myself, unfortunately. It's a bad habit that people should get rid of. It's, I'm not talking about the pot, but about the cigarettes. You smoke pot because you want to de-stress and relax through a work day or an off day. If you're going through something, it helps to have a nice bowl or joint. But sometimes people smoke cigarettes as like an extra accelerant. And that's what gets people on to quitting. It's one of the hardest things to quit because of that habit forming vice. And I'm not gonna lie, it is difficult because you're always gonna be craving one. You will just be drinking or having marijuana, and you will crave a cigarette as far. It's one of the hardest things to do, unfortunately. I've quit smoking 2, 3 times, and yet here I am. Literally about to smoke one again. And it's unfortunate, but make your bed, you make your life. But you can always make yourself a new bed. I don't like myself for smoking cigarettes, and it's definitely something I'm gonna be having to quit sooner rather than later before I get too many consequences from that being off and on through my life. But unfortunately, we let the stress of life get to us sometimes. Like, I feel like when I was living in East Van over 2 years ago, I was on the verge and I was doing fine when I was working full time at a food production facility called Fad. And then, unfortunately, I let move in an old friend who wasn't completely on the right track with his bad habits, and long story short, because of that, it cost me a cat I really was fond of. And because of that trauma and literally having no sleep and all that, looking for a sad cat, I literally lost my job, even though I'd been at it for just over a year. And unfortunately, I was overruled and permanently dismissed, which really sucks because something I wanted to have a greater economical and monetary benefit ended up being a complete fuck up of a backfire, and that's one of the most frustrating things. I had a brief stint at Maple Ridge, which is where I moved into after, within that same year, but it didn't last long. And unfortunately, I had to move from there way too soon. And so me and my partner had to move to her mother's place, and then we just found an apartment, which is where I'm staying at now. And I was on the verge at 1837 in Vancouver, where I used to live, and then, but then all those other stresses just made me go turn back to smoking, and not like, I think it's a good decision. It's something that I hate, but its consequences for my mistakes. And now that I passed my 40th, I have to carry on through it, which naturally, I mean, of course I'm old enough to just work through it easily, but it's just frustrating when you have those mistakes in mind. So, you almost feel like a point A or point B standing in that case, where you almost feel like you have to start again. Not really, but you still have to compensate for these mistakes, and that's kind of where I feel I'm at. I don't necessarily have what I once did, but I'm still in a good enough position to compensate for it. And so the rains go on.